Good morning, everybody. I've just woke up. I'm going to do post-match pint right now. And this is the morning after the game before. I've never seen us relegated in October, to be honest, and I think I have now, to be honest, because that was a pitiful performance. And the first thing I want to do before we do anything, I want to apologise to Scott a little bit, because he was questioning Nuno yesterday on Friday Night Pint. Thursday, on Thursday Night Pint, and he was questioning Nuno and his team selection. And I was saying, no, look, there's got to be a method in his madness, and I think he was maybe looking forward to Leeds, and I think he was, trying to keep a couple of players fresh. And Scott was saying to me things like, the inverted right and left backs, it didn't make sense, and all that. And I was like, he ain't going to do that again. Now, I was right away, because he didn't do it again. He done fucking worse. From minute 1, probably to minute 60, probably 65, we were totally outplayed. They was all over us. They was absolutely battering us, right? And we watched the first half. I arrived a little bit late because, I'll tell you a bit about my day in a minute. But from minute 1 to minute 60, 65, they absolutely battered us. And I mean absolutely fucking battered us, right? And the thing is, in between that, you've got half time. And we had a 13-minute extra time because of stoppages. And he sent the same team out in the second half. And the other day against Brentford, he hooked a couple off at half time. I mean, he's brought Diouf back in, gone to a back five. Apparently, it weren't even wing backs. It was just a pure back five. 5-1-2-2 or something. It's some mad formation like that. I don't really know. I couldn't really work it out about what the formation was, but it was odd. It was just odd, and the fact that Andy Irvine is playing in that midfield with Thomas Souček, and he's looked at that in the first game and thought, you know what, that could work. I can't make excuses for the man. I can't make excuses for him. And they were two totally 100% important games as to how our season's going to go. They normally say, you know where you're going to be after 10 games. Well, if that's the fact, we've got one more game, and that is Newcastle at home. And we're on course to become one of the, I think, the worst Premier League teams that's ever fucking existed, if I'm honest with you. Every position has got a fault in it. It's got a flaw in it. Every single one. Nothing works together. And I said this on a podcast that I've done a little while back with James Alcott. It's just like there's so many different styles of player in there because of the 4 managers in the 4 months. We've let so many fighters go. So many people that love West Ham, we've let them go. And now there's no one left. And I've got to say this, right? And I saw this with my own eyes. I don't know whether anyone else picked it up. People like Jean-Claire Todibo. McAstle was the same. McAstle walked straight down the tunnel. That support last night from the away fans, the way they was. Listen, I know that there's protests against the ball. I know that, but the chanting against the ball, people saying that's negative. I've never heard a louder away end singing Bubbles. I've never heard a louder away end chanting "We are West Ham's Clap Blue Army," because we do support the boys. And for players to walk down that tunnel last night after putting in a performance like that, and not just one, but that's the second in a fucking week, right? And to walk down that tunnel, and Jean-Claire Todibo was fucking laughing like it was funny. It's not fucking funny, mate. You've cost us £32 million. You're one of the worst defenders I think I've ever fucking seen. And I'm not fucking joking either. And I've seen people like Pogatetz play for West Ham. You're one of the worst defenders I've ever fucking seen, and you're laughing like it's some sort of fucking joke. You know, don't come over and, you know, they're just Paquetá, disgraceful. Joe, fuck off. All of you, fuck off. It's a fucking disgrace the way that game went last night, and the manager's got to take a fucking big portion of the blame. Andy Irvine, bless his fucking heart, he's not up to this level. He was getting skinned. If you look at the first goal, and Scott pointed this out, I wasn't the one that pointed this out, but Scott pointed this out, right? You look at that first goal, he just let the geezer walk straight past him. And when you look at the quality of the defenders and the way we defend, second goal, why the fuck there was a, you know, why the fuck Paquetá was marking the centre half? And again, Scott pointed it out. It wasn't me that pointed it out, but Scott pointed it out to me. Why was Paquetá, who's not a notorious great header of the ball, marking the centre half? It doesn't make fucking sense. Like, well, what are these people doing in training? What are they doing in training? Well, them players that started, the ones that ain't fucking good enough, they must be really impressing him or buying him fucking presents or something, because I just can't work it out. Now, as I said, there's problems in every position. The goalkeeper's position's a problem. The centre-half position's a problem. The midfield's got a problem, massive problem. And the strike force's got a massive problem. I've seen bad teams before, West Ham teams. I've never seen a position, a team, sorry, with so many holes in so many positions. The way this club has been run has been nothing. Sorry, I'm tired. I've had, and I said I'll tell you about my day in a minute, but it's been nothing short of fucking shambolic. They don't know how to run a football club. And we're going to keep banging on the fucking same drum, but they don't. It's quite fucking obvious that they don't. And this is it for me. You know, you live in hope. You live in hope with West Ham sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, and last year, and I was travelling with Dom last night, and Dom quite rightly said, you live in hope. You live in that there's going to be 3 worse teams in here. There isn't this year. We're the worst. Wolves have already beat us in the cup, and they'll beat us in the league. I'm quite sure of it. The one positive I can take last night was when Fernandes and Potts came on. They came on and they played very well, and we got a goal back. We didn't capitalise on it. We got that goal back in 65, 70 minutes. You can see the Leeds fans. I don't know what Leeds season's been like. I haven't really concentrated on them, but our season. Their season must have been to the point where they got the goal back and then they started panicking. This is the 90th minute, they started panicking. They've just been beat by Burnley, who we've got in a couple of weeks. So they was panicking a little bit. No need to panic, boys, because you know these boys ain't got in it. The wasted chances, the wasted opportunities that we got, and there was a few chances that we had that we should have scored. There was a few. You know, Paquetá, that was a good finish to be fair to him. He started the season well as well, and he's just slipped off a fucking cliff. The front players are feeding on scraps. The midfield nowhere near. You know, you look at Sean Longstaff. Sean Longstaff ran the fucking show last night, and I honestly don't know where we go from here. I really don't. Down, I think. But you know, as I said, you live in hope at times that there's 3 worse teams. We've bitten off more than we can chew, and this ownership has, you know, their vulnerabilities in knowing how to run a football club, and I think they at times they understand as well that we're always banking on there being 3 worse clubs. We send a bit of money, we'll have enough quality, and there'll be 3 worse clubs. Not this year, boys. Sorry, you've bitten off more than you can chew, unless something drastically changes. And as I said, I'm going to take the positive. Potts and Fernandes, when they came on, were superb. They were superb. They changed the game. And Magassa, to be fair, Magassa played well. But they changed the game. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to tell you this for free. Yeah, them two are not going to be able to deal with Newcastle's midfield next week. Newcastle's midfield is world class. Tonali, Guimaraes, Joe Linton. Fucking list goes on and on and on. we haven't got anything, and I mean anything close to that. We haven't even got anything close to Sean fucking Longstaff, to be quite honest with you, and that's fucking saying something. We've got to start looking at the prospect of relegation, and I'm sure they are now, and I've got a feeling they fucking want to go down to get rid of some of them high earners, but that's a different story for a different day. My day yesterday, left work, somebody that I was meant to rely on to let me go early didn't turn up to work, left work about 3:30, got into the ground probably about 8:25, got back in the car, so I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go over to Dom's to collect the tickets, then went to work, then left work about 3:30, made it straight back to the car, 3:30, 4:30, one or two, sometime, straight back to the car, drove straight to Leeds, watched 60 minutes of the fucking game, 70 minutes of the game, done my interviews, got straight back in the car. I dropped my brother home to Braintree because he can't get home otherwise. Dom come back and went back home. I got in my house at about 3:15. No, it's a bit later than that actually, about 4 o'clock, 4:15, because I said to Dom I'd done 24 hours. Now I'm up filming post-match playing. I wonder what them players done. My voice is sore because I was shouting and screaming so much, trying to egg the boys on with my support. So don't ever let anyone tell you there was no good support there last night. There was fucking brilliant support. I bet some of them players' legs ain't hurting. I bet they didn't get home at 4 o'clock. I bet they was laying in bed at 12 o'clock after being flown home on private fucking jets and or getting in fucking private cars. World's fucked. Football world's fucked. I think we're fucked. But check out post-match points coming a bit later. One thing left to say. Come on, you ones.